From Dr. Richard Besser, with a family coming out of the shadows to help, to tell you about a hidden epidemic. The number of children hospitalized with eating disorders has soared 72% in a decade. And we're talking about young children whose doctors don't always see what's happening. ABC's chief medical editor, Dr. Richard Besser, now brings us this story.
Reagan and Grace are twins. Until the age of 10, they were like two peas in a pod. But suddenly, Reagan began rejecting foods she used to love, exercising nonstop, and complaining daily of a stomachache.
I took her to just a medical doctor, and he said, well, she's a little on the thin side. She just needs to eat more.
So he didn't recognize how serious this was?
No.
Reagan lost 30 pounds over a 6-month period. Dinner time became a test of wills.
We caught her hiding food, throwing food away.
What's the longest she sat at the table waiting to eat?
I think 4.5 hours.
Reagan's mother became alarmed, but no psychiatrist would see her little girl until she was 11.
I was in tears. I said, my child won't be alive at 11 unless she gets help.
She started calling eating disorder treatment centers. They admitted Reagan immediately. Anorexia. An eating disorder is a mental illness. We've seen how far the disease can go in adults, but it surprises a lot of people, even doctors, that it can also affect children as young as 5. And the warning signs can easily be chalked up to normal child behavior. Picky eating, over-exercising. In Reagan's case, she was often jogging in circles inside her bedroom, and she was running 4 miles a day when she was supposed to be just walking the dog.
What would you say to a kid who says to you, I've never heard of an eating disorder. What's an eating disorder?
It's hard for someone to eat food, and there's this voice inside their head telling them not to.
Telling them not to eat food?
Yeah.
How often are you thinking about it?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Is it getting easier? Any easier for you, or is it still pretty hard?
It's getting easier.
Reagan and her family are currently in family-based therapy, which has a 50 to 60% full recovery rate within a year, and they're very hopeful.
But if a family is concerned, a parent's concerned, what do they do?
Yeah, I mean, listen to Reagan's mom. You know your child best. If you think they have an eating disorder, you need to seek help. And if you're not being taken seriously, you have to push and see another doctor.
No revelation tonight. Thank you, Dr. Richard Besser. And up next...